Okay, I am going to provide an update on my 2023 Verne Manila rootstock. I picked this up last spring in 2023. I picked up about a dozen plants. I gave a few away, but I did plant 5 in ground and then the rest in pots. So I was trying to see what did better. I could say after a year, like the ones in the pot grew probably about 10 to 15% larger in terms of the increase in the trunk diameter. I want to provide you guys this update because the next time you see this, there's probably going to be a lot of big changes to it. It's either going to have some grafts on it, or it's going to get like a trunk chop, where I'm going to chop it down and let it branch out to get some branching on it before grafting it like next year or late in the year. Okay, so this is the first tree. That's a pretty nice size trunk. On to the next tree, and this tree was the one I had that kind of got hit by fungal issues. It was something I kind of identified as probably going to be one of those really sudden mango death syndrome that you see. So I noticed that right now it's very strong. It's pretty much almost black, but when it first appeared, it was almost like this subtle grayish part on the bottom. And usually on this dieback, the stems kind of, by the time you see the stems kind of get wrinkly, it's pretty much too late. So I kind of caught that just because of, I think it might be symptoms I noticed last year. So I sprayed it pretty heavily with some chemical fertilizers, which I don't really use too much of, but I did in this case, and it seemed to have helped it. So right now it's alive, and the fungal issue didn't completely go to the tree. So on the other side it's still brown, but it's a pretty big setback on this, so I'm not sure if it's going to make it or survive. But I mean, just look at the fruitlets on it. So the other thing is, I would say out of the 10 trees, at least 7 or 8 of them has already bloomed. So 1 year, and there's blooms on it already, and even fruit sets on some like this. Okay. On to the next one. This is the next tree, and this is one of the one that was placed in the ground last year, looking really nice. On some of these, I kind of just threw some alfalfa seedlings to it, just kind of give me some options in the future. I might, either let it just grow out, or maybe graft it onto the trunk, give it like a multi-trunk, just some options. I don't see it hurting tree in any way. This one looked like it might be primed for grafting, just because I like where the branch height is at already. So let's see how it goes. Okay, on to the next tree, and this one was just planted in the ground. So there's gonna be 5 of them you see that I just recently planted. And again, they were bought in 2023, and kept in a pot for 1 year and planted out just recently. This one has one of the nicest sized trunk after 1 year, and I get a lot of good thick trunks when I get these nice long, just central, just one central stem going up, and that usually helps really thicken the trunks when there's not too many branching. Okay, on to the next tree. Again, this one was just planted out recently. Trunk on it. Let me get this out. Good size trunk on this one. And this one I planted right next to another mango tree, just because initially my plan was to kind of dig out this one because it hasn't done well. This is a K-saw on a Kent rootstock, That's been in the ground since 2022. Kind of got hit badly in early 2023 winter, and it just has never really rebounded. So initially I was going to dig it up and then plant the new rootstock in here, but I really didn't feel like pampering this. I know myself, if I put it in a pot, I'm going to try to do what I can to kind of keep it alive, and at this point it's not really worth the effort, so I'm going to just, but I didn't want to just end up killing it too, so I was like, you know, I'll just leave it be. If it survives, it survives, but I want to make sure at least I got another new rootstock in there to kind of start more experimentation on. Okay. And these have, again, some flowers and fruitlets. Okay, on to the next one. Again, this is another one where I had a Kent rootstock. The graft died back, hasn't really done well. It's been here since 2022, so I'm gonna go ahead. I was gonna go ahead and replace it, but I decided to just leave be, give it a chance to survive. But I was gonna just plant another mango right next to it. So, and this one, I don't think, yeah, this one did not bloom. Okay, on to the next tree. So this is the next one right here. It's pretty good size too. And again, you see another see a pattern. I was about to kind of do the same thing, pour this, but I decided to leave it. This is actually an ice cream on Kent rootstock. Ice cream is tough enough already, and then just hasn't been vigorous enough. And so I actually planted a seedling of an alfalfa right there. And it's almost kind of lengthy and skinny, but it's almost kind of grown to the size. It's just a seedling I planted end of summer last year. Here's the next one, and this one was planted in ground last year. The trunk, and again some seedlings I just planted right next to it. This one's done pretty well, but I think it's gonna, there's some fruit set on it too, it bloomed. This one will probably be doing a trunk chop, probably right around here, right around here to let it kind of dry, about knee high or so. Okay, on to the next ones. Again, you can see another theme. This is the this one right here in the back is actually the Laverne one that I planted in the ground last year. And out of all the ones I got, this was just, it was just a runt. It just never really grew well. The trunk is still pretty small compared to this. Look at this right here. It's a huge trunk compared to what you see here. So this one, again, I didn't feel like removing it and trying to pamper it, so I just planted another rootstock right next to it. That will give it a chance to survive if it survives, but at least I have the new rootstock in, so I could kind of do more things. Alright, so that is my update on the 2023 Laverne Manila rootstocks. The next time you can see this, lots of them will either be kind of trunk chopped really back down to about knee high, or some of them will have some grass on it, and we'll just see what happens. Okay, so that's my update on these. Thanks.